makes me cry. How wonderful it is. Every time I think back about the Ukraine, it's unbelievable. I won't hide to you. It's unbelievable when human power cannot reach people that, what God has done is something. We would think that in such an oppressive regime, it would be impossible for anyone to worship God, but you would be surprised. You would be very surprised.
Our next piece is the hopak, which actually means skip or jump.
Yes, hopak is, as the word says, hopa comes from the Slavic word, we may say, although we Serbs and Croats also use the same word, as much as Russians and Ukrainians. Hopa means like, exhilaration, joy, exclamation of joy. And you'll see our wonderful, lively AU dancers once again. They're going to perform it just for the sake of our Ukraine, who we have left last night. See, to me it's all like yesterday. It was last year. Yeah, nice experiences last forever, and then you think they were happening yesterday, or last night when you dream about them, they come, and you think it's right there, but... So anyhow, with that nostalgic tune, and my saying about the Ukraine, would like to see exhilarating dance by our AU Slavic dancers, accompanied by
the Omer Band.
So please, don't forget to participate and help us welcome AU Slavic dancers. I think that was our last dance for tonight.
Yes, it was.
All those people are not Slavs, for some of you who might be wondering. But I keep reiterating, and it's never enough. Repetition is the best way to do. We Slavs are people who, although we have struggles between ourselves, at least when it came to other nations, we were always open-minded, usually, unless they subdued us, in which case you cannot be open-minded. We're usually very open to many other nations. Slavic countries are very cosmopolitan in terms that not only news from all over the world come to our countries, but in terms that people are pretty much welcoming to each stranger that may wander into Slavic land. And although we don't have Slavic dancers, or at least not real Slavic dancers, as I said, to us Slavs it's pride, it's joy, it's great to see people of other nations that can dance Slavic dances. And I think that these people here are making history, because I don't think that Filipinos, Mexicans, and others have ever participated in any formal Slavic Slavic performance or Slavic cultural event. So in fact, you might be witnessing something that is a historical event within itself.
And also thank you for all coming and enjoying with us and getting involved with us.
Yes, we always had the problem with the audience, basically. We would always make snacks, have dancers, prepare everything well for people, and then the audience would be kind of lacking, every time Slavic Evening came. Sad situation.
But not this year.
Not this year. For those who came, we have good fun and we'll have dance afterwards. And for those who missed it, well, if something happens tomorrow to them, like they miss their pet maybe in the morning for a while, or find some horse heads in their bed, perhaps they may remember that they have missed Slavic evening, you know? So it may remind them a little bit. I'm joking. This is the joke that Dr. Mas also used, so he's one of my, inspirational people. So this is the joke that he used on his fellow faculty members.
And now for our last performance. Dume moje.
Can you believe it's the last one?
I can't believe it.
And from the Ukraine again. Dume moje. Dume means thoughts, and moje means mine, so my thoughts. It's one of those nostalgic songs.
This will be performed by a quintet of Ryan Burns, Joe Comino, Mario Hernandez, Dr. David Moss, and Todd Woods.
And the song basically talks about longing for the Ukraine. Man in this song remembers the river of Dnieper that I mentioned earlier. Very peaceful, calm, and blue, wonderful Dnieper that flows from Kiev to Odessa, which is on the coast. And in this song, the artist is remembering his childhood. He remembers the banks of the river Dnieper. He remembers that all those trees that were so small when he was, a child around there are probably now grown and huge. And he's basically saying that despite everything else, he would like to be buried right there in his beloved Ukraine. So Kiev Quintet, that you have already mentioned, is going to perform our last, basically, thing.
Dume moje.
Dume moje.
Me. Is everybody having fun yet? Could I hear from the Minnesotans? Do we have any Minnesotans in the crowd tonight? Shall we send a tape of this up to Chuck Pasick on the bandwagon? If you would know. I want to thank all of you for coming tonight. I have a few acknowledgments. One that we left off the program altogether was Kevin Bruning, who helped with the videotape and the slides. And of course, we want to acknowledge the ladies and the gentlemen of the AM and PM congregations for the Slavic snacks. And hopefully at the dance, you'll be partaking of those with us. And as I mentioned earlier, you know, with all of the conflicts going on in Bosnia, Herzegovina, and Serbia, it seems that the Slavs have learned how to hate passionately, but we hope that we've shown you tonight that they can also love passionately, and we've tried to present for you a metaphor of what we hope for in the future when the Slavic families will all be at peace. And the anomaly that we find today, the Serbs and the Croats at each other's throats, you saw tonight our host and hostess, our co-hosts, they represent a metaphor of peace. And one other thing about these snacks, there should be plenty to go around, but if you take two at a time and then go out and chow down and go back for more, rather than to take about 16 of them at once, I think we'd appreciate that. And before our speaker tonight, Moj brat, Viktor Kubik, a clone of one of my most favorite people on the face of the earth, the late Igor Kubik, someone I knew very deeply, dearly, a long time ago. We're going to have our finale. It's a Yiddish piece. The Jews in the diaspora were all over Germany and Poland and Russia, and this happens to be another bit in the Ukraine, in Odessa. So this is actually, it's Ukraine, but it's actually a Yiddish piece as well. So now we're going to assemble everyone, so you'll have a chance to applaud the whole cast, but I have another group of people I want to acknowledge, and this could not have been a success unless all of you had come tonight. And this is like the old story about stone soup. Everybody contributed a little bit. So as they do in the Russian parliament, let us all stand up, and we're all going to applaud one another because everybody had a hand in this tonight. So let's all stand up and we'll all applaud. So we're going to get Brother Rex Ulmer now to crank up the band, and we're going to do our Wild Night in Odessa. This is a klezmer Yiddish piece, and this will usher in our guest speaker tonight, Viktor Kubik.
Well, good evening, everybody. This has been a most wonderful Slavic evening, and let's give another clap. This is our fourth Slavic evening that we've had, and each one has progressed to a greater height of excitement and actually understanding the Slavic soul. We have the happiness, the joy in the dancing, and also with the song that was before this last one, Dume Moji, which I remember hearing many times when I was a youngster, that digs into the depths of Slavic sadness. Very beautifully done. I'd like to say a few things about, and I always do every year because these people are very special, but in particular Dr. David Moss. He is one of my favorite people. He is a family friend of ours from many years, and he was very good friends of my father. And he has a very special ability to relate to people. And every year when I talk to seniors and talk to other students, he consistently is one of the favorite professors because of all the crazy things that he does. Dr. David Moss is one who has a very special feeling for the Russian, Ukrainian, and other Slavic souls. And it's through him that we've been able to make this project possible. There are a few others I'd like to comment about too, because they also express the Slavic soul in a very special way. One is Mr. Mario Hernandez, who is a Latin with a very special Slavic soul. I've never seen quite a mixture like I do with Mario Hernandez, a beautiful voice. Also, our co-MCs today, Sasha Velchik and Eileen Pasinik, are very special to us. Sasha Velchik was on our Ukrainian project this past year and did a wonderful job as a helper, knowing the Russian language and helping with translation and being one of the leaders on the tour. Also, Eileen Pasinik, we've known her very well for the past few years. She was at Imperial Schools in Pasadena, and it's so wonderful to see her standing on the stage here and being here at Ambassador College. Do you want me to look like this? Okay, very good. Okay, now I'll look more serious. This is, okay, very good. I just love pictures because I always feel so stupid when they're taken. Anyway, we wanted to devote some of the evening tonight to the Ukrainian project which we held last year, which was a tremendous success. The 9 people who we had go on the Ukrainian project last year, their lives will never be the same. And the more they think about it, in retrospect, it will remind them of special things they have learned that they could not have learned any other way. So we had last year, when my wife Beverly and I went to Ukraine to look in on the project and see how it was doing, we asked Dwayne Abler from television to come and to film some of the footage or to film some of the events that took place. So without any further commentary, I would like to, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. Are they going to open the curtain first? Let's try, we have a curtain problem here. Open sesame, there we go. Okay. Could you open it a little tad more so I can see what the video is all about? Okay, okay, okay. You can pull it back a little bit now. I wasn't here for the dress rehearsal. You know, these things have to be covered. Okay, what we'll start with is when my wife and I came into Budapest, which is the closest big city to Khust, Ukraine. In fact, from Budapest to Khust is only about 300 some miles. We arrived there, and actually we were coming all the way from South America. We came from South America to New York City, where we bought a lot of goodies for the kids, including soap powder, liquid soap. And just as we got to Budapest, our bottle of soap broke and went over all the goodies there. So we'll begin on this note and then go on to the more serious and cultural aspects of the trip. So, can we roll the video? Here's Budapest.
This is to verify that we are here with the Cubics in Budapest, having just arrived. Today is July the 6th, and the contents of one of their bags You can see some of the items that have been cleaned. One of the large bags burst. Some Palmolive dish
Russian Word Perfect
detergent
was covered with
broke up,
soap.
and these are the Word Perfect discs that are all coated with Palmolive goo, and the remains of the Russian Word Perfect. Thank you. Yes, and I
There
can
it
see
is,
that
the
on
manual.
cover clearly. So that's what that is, Russian Word Perfect, and you can see that that is horrifically gooified. And we were videotaping this as proof of this unfortunate occurrence, but thought that it might not be necessary to carry these. They're all soaked with Palmolive dish detergent, as you can see, and they're absolutely destroyed, and there's no point in transporting them back from Budapest to the United States.
There's our plane that we
And if I'm not mistaken, this is the plane we will use
Hey, he does the
to
same
fly
thing
into
I do.
Ukraine.
That's from Budapest to Ukraine, a 1-hour flight. And we're flying over Czechoslovakia and coming into Uzhgorod, the capital of